The Fitness Tech Diva coming to you, talking about credit. So this is a short video series that I'm going to be doing. This is part one of that series. And I'm just talking about basically, why credit is important, how it affects you, the different factors that affect your credit score, and just some of my overall personal experiences with what I went through, what I experienced having bad credit and what I did to improve it. And I've increased my score about 200 points or so in the past year and a half to 2 years. And so I really want to share with people because it was very stressful for me to have, bad credit. And I don't know if you can relate. I'm assuming that you can. That's why you're watching this video. And my blog talks about fitness and wellness. So this kind of ties into that mental wellness category, just having your things in life in order. So you can have maximum happiness. So I'm going to jump right into this because I don't want these videos to be too long at all. So I'm just going to get straight to the point. And I have some notes over here that I'm looking at. So why is credit important and how does it affect you? So, you probably know the basics of credit, like, okay, you need it to buy a car or a house or anything like that. But credit can also affect other things as well. Like for example, and this was something that surprised me, renting a house or renting an apartment even. I don't know how widely used this is by landlords, but they can go and run your credit before they rent a property to you. We experienced this recently when we relocated to a new state, and we're renting now, and they checked our credit. So you could potentially not, be able to rent a home or an apartment because your credit is really, really bad. And I always thought that you just need credit to buy a house, but no, actually renting as well. So keep that in mind. Also, one time I went to the dentist and I tried to get I got some dental work done, and they had like a financing option for it. So I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try this out. And actually it didn't work out for me because my credit was so bad at the time. They actually denied me. I couldn't get the work financed. And so I got a letter like a week or so later, it gave me my Fico score, which was really bad at the time. It's like it was under 600. And I didn't even know it was that low at the time. And I was like, wow, I couldn't even finance some dental work, and it was just something I was like maybe a couple of hundred, a few $100s. But, again, so that's where credit came into play. It's like credit affected that. So, you don't think of all the things that credit could affect. Even like, if you can't, get a credit card, then you try to go rent a car, it's harder to do that if you don't have, a credit card. I mean, for me, I had to go through more just to rent a car. Like I had to bring in different bills and different other documentation just to rent a car because I was doing it with a debit card. I don't know if it's that way now, but these are just some of the examples of how credit can affect you and why it's important. Also, even getting a job. Some jobs, before they hire you, they will run your credit. And, they just want to check your background. And so if you have bad credit, you could potentially be missing out on a great job opportunity. And then also the last thing I want to mention was insurance. It can affect your insurance premiums. If you have bad credit, the insurance, I guess the underwriters or whoever determines your premiums, they'll look at your credit history as well and take that into factor when they're coming up with your insurance premiums. So credit can really affect multiple parts of your life, even things that you may not think it affects. It can. So why not just go ahead and try to fix it? So but those are just a few examples of things. So then I want to jump into different types of credit. So you have different credit scores. And we all know we have a credit score, but we have different types. So the main type is the Fico score, and that's Fair Isaac. And this is the one that's most widely used by lenders. So if you're doing anything like buying a car, buying a house, or, credit cards, or applying for credit cards or whatever, your Fico score is the one that is likely being used by the lender to evaluate whether or not they're going to, give you the loan or the credit card. Or whatever it is you're applying for, or in my case, like the dental work. So that Fico score is supreme in the world of financing, basically, in the world of lending. Then you also have your Vantage score. And the Vantage Score is not as widely used, but it is picking up, it is becoming more popular among lenders. And this score, so unlike the Fico Score, the Fico Score, you typically have to pay to access it. So like websites like myfico.com, for example, you can pay a monthly subscription and view your Fico Score. And then there are some other services too, like I think Discover Card offers one too, where you get free access to it. But Vantage is your free credit score. So think sites like creditkarma.com. When you're looking at your credit score on there, those are, and they offer two right now, those are your Vantage credit scores. So it's still a good idea to know what your Vantage is, because some lenders are looking at it, and it gives you an idea of, where the ballpark, at least where your credit stands. But typically those Vantage scores are different than your Fico scores, so just keep that in mind. Maybe some people have the same, but for me it's always different, and other people I've talked to, they said theirs are always different as well. But still it's good to know, what it is, especially if you don't want to have to pay for a monthly subscription to a website to access your score. And also Credit Karma gives you access to your credit report as well, so you can view all of that. Then next you have what they call a lender-based score, and this is basically a score that a lender can put together using their lending criteria. And then they also take it to, they also look at your other credit scores as well. I think they get like the software from the Vantage or like Fico, but then they'll tweak it to meet like their lending criteria. So they may just weigh certain things differently, like your on-time payment history, your credit card utilization. They may not weigh it the same as like a Fico or a Vantage. So again, this is, I don't know how widely used that is, but just know that it's out there. It still ties into your overall credit history. And then lastly is the insurance credit score. So yes, you do have a credit score derived for insurance. And as I mentioned earlier, your credit history can impact your your ability to get insurance or your insurance premiums and so forth. So this insurance credit score is used for that, to determine how likely you are to file a claim. So they basically look at your credit history, and if you have bad credit, then they look at that as a risk factor, and you may be someone who's more likely to file a claim even if you don't need to file a claim. And I'm not saying that's filing a claim is a bad thing, because a lot of times we do need it, but sometimes people file them and they don't. So again, they look at it as a risk factor. So just keep that in mind, that bad credit can drive up your insurance premiums as well. So that's really all I want to talk about today. Just knowing why credit is important, the different type of credit scores that you can have, and just some of the different things that the different ways that it can affect you in your life, like some of the things that I mentioned earlier. What really got my attention was just when I went to get the dental work done, and I couldn't finance what I got done. So you just, like I said, just to maximize happiness in life, your mental wellness, why not eliminate the extra stress that bad credit can cause in your life? So I'm going to wrap this up today. This was pretty basic. But in my next video, I'm going to talk about factors that affect your credit. So I'm going to go more into detail about your payment history, your credit card utilization, your account mix, like what all different types of credit accounts you have, because that's also something that could affect your credit score, believe it or not. Your age, the age of your credit, so how long have you actually had credit cards or other type of credit accounts. And then let's see, I'm gonna have the types of credit being used. So I think that's like the account mix thing. So, and just going into detail about, how you can use those things, that information, to also increase your credit score as well. So if, for example, if you're trying to increase your credit score and you have bad payment history, what can you do? What can you fix? Or, what can you do to increase your credit score with that bad payment history, on your credit report? So, or even like your credit card utilization. There are certain things that you could do with your credit card payments and your utilization, to increase or decrease your credit score. It's not just about missing a payment. There's more to it than that. So I'm just going to talk a little more about that in the next video. So hopefully you would join me for the next video. And also, if this was helpful to you and if you're interested, in more videos, because I am going to be making more videos as well. And I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible, just talking about various topics. And just it's mostly related to fitness and wellness. So if you're interested, please subscribe to my channel. And also, if you found this helpful, please like the video, thumbs up as well. And that is all I have for you today, and hope you join me for the next one. Till next time, talk to you later. Bye.